Marzullo and Associates LLC is a local company offering businesses a chance to expand and grow with a little help. Dan Marzullo joins us today to talk more about his company and give a few content marketing tips for business owners out there. Right?
Thanks for having me, Maria.
Of course. Yeah, thank you for being here. So tell us a little bit more about your company and what you offer to businesses.
Sure. Yeah. So Marzullo and Associates is a copywriting business. So I have a team of writers, and we create content for marketing materials for anything from articles and blog posts to newsletters, advertisements, social media content, anything that you need written marketing communication for, that's what we help with.
All right, so what kind of businesses then do you specialize in?
Yeah, so we actually work with quite a variety of industries. We like to kind of get to work with a bunch of great companies. So we do a lot in healthcare, marketing, finance, real estate, fitness, so you name it.
All right, so there's no job too big or too small, right?
Right. We like to do it all, so.
Okay, so what kind of businesses need content marketing, or how do they get started actually?
Yeah, so I think, the first step is just simply start creating content. Our customers and our audience, they live and breathe online today, so it's super important to be connecting and engaging with them where they are. And so really the best way to do that is to start putting out engaging content and telling people about your story and what you've got going on.
Okay, so then what's the best way to create that content then? Because I think a lot of people have ideas, and I had a boss who would say, you go halfway around the circle and then people forget or don't know how to get to the end to make that 3 full 60, right?
Right.
So it's like, how do you get to the end? How do you complete that whole cycle?
Yeah, and I think, a lot of business owners feel really overwhelmed or stressed out at the thought of creating content, so they just don't. It's just kind of a burden. So I say break it down and simplify the process and just start storytelling. So, start documenting your processes and sharing some of the day-to-day, the behind the scenes, the operational stuff. I think people love to see that. And it's really a great way to make your brand look more human and make people want to kind of engage with what you're doing. So, whether that's through a blog post or a podcast or a video, you can storytell through any of these different platforms.
Okay, and so what do you say to business owners who are out there and they're like, this just seems all overwhelming. I'm already I'm already busy taking care of my business. How can I make this extra time? What do you tell them?
Right. So I always recommend, hire a professional. If you have the resources, that's kind of where we come in and fill that gap, for those that don't have a content marketing team, to really just kind of help them dial in that process and put out some good stuff. But if that's not an option, even just kind of dedicating a content marketing team lead, so you have somebody that can consistently tell your brand story, kind of throughout time as you grow and evolve as a company.
Okay, and speaking of putting content online, you are often creating like blogs and blogs. So where can people follow you?
Yeah, so danmarzullo.com is really a great place to start, because then you can kind of get to all of our social channels and contact us directly from there.
Okay, and let's recap. You gave businesses 3 different ways, right? Or three different suggestions.
Yeah,
let's go over those
three,
again. Yeah.
Basic tips. So first is just start creating content. And the process for doing that, just start storytelling, telling your story. And then lastly, kind of bring in the resources to make that happen.
Okay, wonderful. And let's go over those social media accounts again, because I think they are so important, right? Because everything does live online.
Right, exactly. So yeah, really kind of it comes down to finding where you want to be active and build an audience, and I think for each business that kind of varies where you want to focus. But social media, being on Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn, I think that's kind of the essentials now, to really kind of get your stuff out there and build that audience and those new customer base.
And if people feel overwhelmed by having all those different platforms, there are things like Hootsuite and stuff like that where you're posting it only once. You don't have to worry about posting it 4 different times, right?
Yeah, exactly. You can kind of schedule out all that content in advance so that you're not kind of stuck to your phone every day and, I got to post today. And yeah, absolutely.
If people want to get in contact with you specifically, what's the best way to reach you?
Dan at danmarzullo.com is my email, or if you go to just danmarzullo.com, you can contact right through there as well.
Wonderful. I want to thank you for your time this morning.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Of course. And for more information about Marzullo and Associates LLC, you can find them online, like Dan said, at danmarzullo.com.